Tactical disposition. Sun Tzu said, the good fighters of old put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. To secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. You must get the enemy to be complacent. You must get the enemy to be relaxed, and then you defeat him. His victories bring him neither reputation for wisdom nor credit for courage. That's an amazing statement, because whenever a worldly general wins a victory, everybody knows about him. Rommel was famous in Germany. Montgomery was famous in England. The generals that won, they were famous. But this general, his victories bring him neither reputation for wisdom nor credit for courage, because nobody even hears his voice. All you hear is the tap of a drum. You don't know who's tapping the drum. He's doing it quietly. He wins his battles by making no mistakes. Please note that this is written just before 1798. Sun Tzu said, the control of a large force is the same principle as the control of a few men. It's merely a question of dividing up their numbers. Fighting with a large army under your command is nowise different from fighting with a small one, so it doesn't matter. It's all about strategy. You must hold out bait. A clever combatant looks for the effect of combined energy and does not require too much from individuals. It has to be a team. There has to be an army, but nobody may know that it's there. Sun Tzu said, whoever is first in the field, please note this, and awaits the coming of the enemy will be fresh for the fight. You want to be there first. You don't want to be there last. You don't want the Protestants to start Protestant America. You want to be there first. You want to be there first. You want to make them think they started it, when in actual fact, you started it. Oh, divine art of subtlety and secrecy. What did Jesus say about secrecy? I have done nothing in secret. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, divine art of subtlety and secrecy. Sun Tzu said in war, the general receives his command from the sovereign. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night. And when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Nobody must know what you're doing. There are roads which must not be followed, armies which must not be attacked, towns which must be besieged, positions which must not be contested. Now listen carefully. Commands of the sovereign which must not be obeyed. So who's in control, the sovereign or the general? If he listens to the commands of the sovereign, if it suits him, but some commands he refuses to obey and does his own thing, then, well, that can only be a very special general who nobody knows about. There are 5 dangerous faults which may affect the general: recklessness, etc., cowardice. Well, that's not so serious. The army on the march. If soldiers are punished before they have grown attached to you, they will not prove submissive. Therefore, soldiers must be treated in the first instance with humanity, but kept under control by means of iron discipline. Fascinating stuff. Terrain. If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight, even though the ruler forbid it. If fighting will not result in victory, then you must not fight, even if at the ruler's bidding. So here is a general which is totally unlike any human political general. Totally unlike. This is a different general. The general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of his kingdom. You might look as if you've been defeated, but it might be a strategic loss. Then it gets even more fascinating as we go on, the 9 situations.